Game 7 tonight with the Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros playing for the World Championship. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. John Smoltz is going to slide right in here in a second. Well, for the third time in the last 4 years, we get a Game 7 in the World Series. And in baseball, there's the regular season, there's the postseason, and then there are Game 7s. And that's an entirely different animal. If you've got a jersey, spikes, and a glove, be ready. You may find yourself right in the heart of the matter determining who wins the 2019 World Series here tonight. I'm going to welcome in my partner, John Smoltz, the Hall of Famer, and let's talk about the Washington Nationals. Vegas had them as a huge underdog coming into this World Series, and all they've done against the Houston Astros is beat Garrett Cole in Game 1. They've beaten Justin Verlander 2 times, and tonight they've got Max Scherzer on the mound, the guy they want, and a guy who 3 days ago couldn't get dressed because of muscle spasms in his neck. He's ready to go. I can't wait to see how he pitches.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What an opportunity to watch another Game 7. When the Nationals got Scherzer, they signed him to a 7-year contract. All he's done is pitch in all-star games, got Cy Youngs, pitched with a broken nose, and now he's given an opportunity to pitch in the World Series. I'd say he's outpitched his contract, and what he's trying to do is give the franchise their first World Series. He's done it all. He's going to give you everything he has. Look for the first couple innings to be the barometer on whether or not the RPMs are a little high for him, but then once he gets past that, lights out.
It has been a special run here for the Houston Astros. They've won over 100 games for 3 straight years. They're the 6th team to do that in the history of Major League Baseball. They won it all just 2 years ago in 2017. And then this past July, they made a big deal. They sent 4 prospects out. They got a guy back. His name's Zack Greinke. He gets the ball tonight. And it's all on him here, at least at the start, to try to win this game for Houston.
Yeah, they went out and got him. They've leaned hard on the heavy 1 and 2 punch that the Astros had. Now they're going to need Greinke and his style of messing up timing. He's not going to throw 95 miles an hour. He doesn't really even care what this moment's like. He's a different guy. He's a different pitcher. And look for him to be as clean as he can be for AJ. He's going to go on to go to the pen. Any sign of trouble. Oh, by the way, Mr. Cole will be looming for the Astros.
Yep, and for the possible usage of Garrett Cole here tonight, down to the field we go and say hi to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Garrett Cole has never pitched in relief as a professional, never worked on short rest in the majors, much less 2 days rest. But at some point tonight, he is likely to record both of those career firsts and emerge from the Astros bullpen. Now, he won't go 5 scoreless innings like Madison Bumgarner did to close out Game 7 in 2014, but he could pitch 2 innings, most likely starting with a clean inning. And if Roberto Osuna is needed to escape a jam before the 9th, we could see Garrett Cole, Cy Young candidate, on the verge of free agency, closing out the World Series. Now, for more on the Nationals starting pitcher tonight, here's Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Ken. On Sunday, Max Scherzer could not raise his arm. 3 days later, he's starting Game 7 of the World Series. Now, in between, he received a cortisone shot on his neck and slept with a neck brace. This morning, he woke up, texted manager Dave Martinez, "I'm good." And tonight, he has no restrictions. In fact, he has a longer leash than Houston starter Zack Greinke. Martinez has pulled him from a game mid-inning only 5 times all year. It's already been an incredible comeback story, but tonight, the last chapter shall be written. Joe?
Well, it's been some ride through the month of October. 2 words. Game 7. There's nothing like it in sports. We can't wait.
It is said, home is where the heart is. Yet in this World Series, home is where the heartbreak is. In an unprecedented twist, the home team has been humbled in all 6 games. In a best-of-7 championship series, that's never happened in any sport. Which brings us here to an improbable one-shot winner-take-all. The Nationals, on the verge of bringing a World Series title home to our nation's capital for the first time in 95 years, start their ace in the Lone Star State. The Astros, dominating in D.C., hammered 3 times in Houston, still stand ever so close to an astonishing second trophy and a spray of champagne. Is Washington king of the road? Will the Astros rocket in their raucous home sweet home? Tonight, the 2 greatest words in baseball, Game 7. What a fall classic. The World Series on Fox.
These are fun. Game 7 of the World Series, and the road team has the all-time record at 20-19, won the last 3. Trey Turner set to go, and so is Zach Greinke. Strike 1.
One thing about Zach Greinke, he won't have to worry about over-amping his velocity. He's not a guy that's going to throw 95, 96. It's going to be his secondary stuff to watch early on and see if his tension.
That's caught by Pregame. A rocket hit to third by Turner. We talked to him before last night's game, and he said it just feels like we've been hitting a lot of balls right at Astros defenders, and that couldn't hit it any harder.
No, he couldn't. And you know how important that is if you're the Astros, because keeping him off the base means the chances of runs being scored go way down. He is everything to the Washington Nationals offense at the top of the order.
Here's Adam Eaton. Big night last night. He's got the best average in this Nationals lineup during the World Series at .333. Went deep. Also was hit by a pitch, dropped down a sacrifice bunt, drew a walk. He was all over the place. 0-1.
Well, I'd say that's a good sign. That means your nerves are in check. That means you are well within a regular season mindset. That's not easy to do out of the gate. The first inning is so important in a postseason Game 7. You want to get in so bad with a 0 and let your offense get to bat in the first inning.
Talked about this during his Game 3 start. He used to live in the mid-90s. No longer visits that neighborhood anymore. 90-91 is where he will top out. 1-2 pitch to Eaton. Breaking ball is outside as Chirinos tried to frame it. 2-2.
Well, the one thing the Washington Nationals and Houston, for that matter, have shown in this series, they can handle the fastball. And there's already 2 really slow curveballs. The pitch of the night for Zach Greinke is going to be his changeup. He has struggled the last month or so with that pitch.
Out in front of the plate, Chirinos. He got him. And a strong play by Robinson Chirinos with a smile and a wink for his pitcher Greinke. 2 out.
Yeah, that's a great play. You see, they watered down in front of home plate, and so that ball had a little mud on it. And the catcher gets out, makes a great play. And that was the changeup for Zach Greinke. The changeup and fastball velocity isn't much difference, but it'll have a little bit more downward action.
With 2 out, nobody on, here's Anthony Rendon. 5 RBI night last night in Game 6. Left side, Bregman. Down go the Nationals. 1, 2, 3. Up come the Astros in the bottom of the first in Game 7. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by YouTube TV. History happens live. Here's the Astros lineup. Typical look: George Springer, Jose Altuve, and Michael Brantley at the top. 4-5-6 is Alex Bregman, Yuli Gurriel, and Yordan Alvarez, the DH. The back end, it's Carlos Correa, Robinson Chirinos, and Josh Reddick in right, batting ninth. Against a right-hander, Max Scherzer, who is 3-0 this postseason, ERA of 2.16. He really gutted it out through 5 innings in game 1 to get the win.
He did. He's going to attack with his fastball, but at this first pitch, I would not throw a first pitch fastball to George Springer. Look for him to maybe throw a slider, but Max Scherzer has every weapon you need to get every hitter out. We'll see if he's comfortable in the first or a little too amped up. 97. The shot he got in his back will take care of the inflammation. If it was in his arm or shoulder or elbow, I don't believe he'd be able to pitch, but because it was in a muscle, that's how quickly you can free that up.
That's down. The count 2-0 on Springer, who jumped on an early delivery last night and hit a double off the wall and scored on a sac fly after a wild pitch. Sac fly by Altuve. He waits to hit next. Here comes a 2-0 from Scherzer. 2-1.
That's that slider. It's so hard to pick up. The angle he throws, he's got a good changeup. He'll even throw a slower breaking ball. But he's in attack mode.
Catches the inside corner, and the count 2-2.
Full count. It's been the theme of the series. Full counts. Tons of them. Might even be the difference maker in tonight's game. Who wins the 3-2 count battle?
Springer skies one to center for Robles. And that's out number 1. The home plate umpire is Jim Wolf. At first base, it's Doug Eddings. The crew chief, who started this World Series at second, has gone all the way back to second. It's Gary Cederstrom. James Hoy is at third. Lance Barksdale is down the left field line, and Sam Holbrook is in right. Replay official is Alan Porter back in New York as Altuve digs his way in. This is the first time the road team has won 6 games in any best-of-7 series in Major League Baseball history, NHL history, NBA history. That's strike 1, and the last 5 World Series have been clinched on the road. That includes A.J. Hinch and his Astros at Dodger Stadium in Game 7 2 years ago. A 1 pitch to Altuve to the shortstop Turner. 2 down. So a good start here for Scherzer in the first inning so far this postseason. He's allowed 5 runs total. Second inning, a total of 1 run, and after that, it's shut down.
Yeah, he's an emotional guy. He pitches with a lot of energy. He struts around. He walks around. He gets the ball. He's creating the tempo, putting the hitter at ease or not at ease because he is on attack mode, and he is not going to take long to deliver the ball.
Here's Brantley, ball 1 outside. When we talked to George Springer before the game about Scherzer, he said he's unlike any other starter in that he gets it, stands on, and he's the one determining the tempo of how the at-bat's going to go. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Brantley hitting .333 in this World Series, 8 hits, 24 at-bats. Possesses as good a batting eye as any hitter in baseball, and he's up on the count here 3-0. Three and one. Astros are wearing their orange jerseys. The jerseys they wore in Game 7 in their win at Dodger Stadium in 2017. Who says baseball players are superstitious? 3-1 is outside and a 2-out walk.
So that wasn't coincidence?
I'm going to say no. Here comes Bregman. Last night, Alex Bregman hit a home run in the first inning and then decided to bring his luggage with him. And then Juan Soto said, okay. He went deep in the fifth and he said, you're going to do it? I am too. Bregman was apologetic after the ball game to his manager, was apologetic to the media. Juan Soto got a visit from his manager, Dave Martinez, who said that's not the way we play. As Scherzer drills the inside part of the plate for strike one.
Well, this series is filled with all kinds of swings, all kinds of emotions, big hits, big plays, tremendous pitching performances, and sometimes you can get lost in some of that emotion.
Good pitch by Scherzer as Bregman was jammed a bit. Eaton is there, and first base runner Brantley is stranded. Who's coming up? The 21-year-old Juan Soto. First up in the second. No score. After an 8-pitch first inning, Zach Greinke goes back to the hill. Soto, Kendrick, and Cabrera will face him. Juan Soto has popped 3 home runs, 2 in this park. He went deep in Game 1. He went deep last night. Combined 830 feet with those 2 home runs here at Minute Maid Park. That's down and in. The count 2-0.
Well, he has gotten the attention of the Astros manager, A.J. Hinch, and the pitching staff. He's handled the fastball. We saw those 2 home runs, and they're going to have to slow it down to him. And this young man has been a marked man when he is not going to be the guy that beats you tonight. That's how you got to treat him. And at 21 years old, you would think, how could that be? Well, he's been that good and he's been that dangerous. So he's commanding that much attention.
What's he doing on 3-0? He's taking strike one after taking a couple of steps to first.
It's a little cool, believe it or not, here in the dome. And the weather outside's a little bit colder than normal, so you may see some pitchers blowing on their hands and elements being a little bit different.
3-1 pitch. That's on a rope into right, and a leadoff base hit by Juan Soto. Now 8 for 24 at the plate with his 3 home runs, and he's on to start the second. This is a graphic that you and our producer Pete Macheska put together about how even this series has been.
I love it. Every category right there. These 2 guys and these 2 teams have absolutely had their moments where contact has been crucial, home runs have been huge, and the starters have all had individual moments. 7 games to determine it.
There's a ball low to Kendrick. When we talked to A.J. Hinch about Greinke before the game, he said, you know, what makes him so good and what you see a lot with Greinke is he's able to pitch his way through trouble. Guys will get on, he'll fall behind hitters, he'll come back and typically puts up a 0. It was 8-1 after the Astros got him in the regular season, but this is game 7. How long is the leash? That's back to Greinke. Out at second, out at first, double play. And the 5-time Gold Glove Award winning pitcher takes care of that one easily.
Well, he's known for getting a lot of ground ball double plays, but he's also known for that athleticism. There is nothing about him right now that looks like this moment has got him a little bit off his game. They may get hits, he may not execute, but it doesn't look like the little things that typically this game can do to people is bothering him at this point, and that's a good sign for the Astros and especially for A.J. Hinch.
Home plate umpire just went out to check the ball. It checked out, so Greinke gets it back, and as Dribble Cabrera steps in, 5 for 18 in this World Series. Down for ball 1.
Game 7 mentally for everybody is going to be fatiguing. You're at the end of the rope in the season. Everybody's gas tank's a little empty. It's the one that can literally go pitch to pitch, batter to batter. And at the end of the day, attention to detail will be it'll feel like the longest game you've ever pitched, whether it's 3 innings, 4 innings. Sometimes you're in the 3rd inning, you feel like you're in the 7th. That's the difference between a game 7 and just a regular start, or even a postseason game that doesn't have an elimination tied to it.
Breaking ball on 2-0. This is the 5th elimination game for this Nationals team. They trailed in each one of the previous 4 and came back to win. In those games, they've averaged 6 runs per game. They've hit 8 home runs, and their pitchers have pitched to a 2.19 ERA. Here's a 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
It's just unbelievable. I don't ever remember seeing a team as gritty and their ability to just keep fighting back.
2-2 pitch. Nice pick by Gurriel. And his stellar defense continues in this postseason. Bottom of the 2nd rolls in. Astros bat no score. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. And by Tide, if it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide. And welcome back to the World Series presented by YouTube TV on Fox. Yuli Gurriel first up. Had a 2-out, 2-run double against Scherzer in the 1st inning of game 1.
Inside.
Takes it inside for ball 1.
Well, when you're pitching on the road in these kind of games, you can see the crowd's into everything. They're standing, they're hoping that a rally happens. You want to keep the crowd to a dull roar because it's going to be loud. With every pitch, with every moment that goes the home team, you have to make sure you do your job to make it a dull roar. And if you're Zach Greinke, you want the roar of your crowd to not take you off your game.
Just poured in there at 96 from Scherzer, former 11th overall pick by Arizona out of Mizzou in 2006. Here's a 2-1. That's well hit into left. Back at the wall. It is gone. Gurriel and the Astros strike first in game 7. Yordan Alvarez goes after the first pitch and fouls it, strike one.
Unfortunately, that's not the dull roar. That was a slider that went more lateral movement than sharp movement, and Gurriel just deposited it.
His first home run of this World Series. That's into right and a base hit for Yordan Alvarez. Let's go back to the home run by Yuli Gurriel.
Fastball was strike down, and then that slider just stayed right in the middle, and it's a classic Gurriel, kind of keep the bat in the zone as long as possible and then lift the ball in the air. Man, he can center some baseballs.
Well, he's had a good postseason with the bat, with the glove. One on, nobody out. Strike one on Correa. Before the game, Kurt Suzuki was in the lineup, the catcher for the Nationals. He caught the majority of Max Scherzer's innings this year, but he suffered a strained hip flexor earlier in this World Series. He's available, but they took him out of the lineup, so Yan Gomes is back behind the plate again tonight. That's inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The numbers with Suzuki, 2.09 ERA when he does the catching. With Gomes, 4.09 regular season, postseason included. In at the knees, strike 2 on Correa.
That's where Max has been really good with his fastball, and that's why if he can get his changeup going with the height of that fastball and then he throws the changeup, the hitters are going to have no chance. But that changeup needs to be worked in. He's got to get the feel for that. Either that or some more breaking balls instead of the slider. The breaking balls a change of speed. There's the changeup right there. Typically, if you're a high fastball pitcher, let's say like Cole and Verlander, you're going to bring in more curveballs because that works with the height of that pitch. If you're getting low four-seam fastballs at the bottom of the zone, then you want to be able to break the ball at that height or throw your changeup off that height.
Another 1-2. Base hit right field. Alvarez will stop, and it's 2 on with nobody out. A homer, back-to-back singles, and the Astros have it cooking here in the second.
Well, this is just good hitting. The fastball gets on the outer part of the plate, and it looks like the Astros have committed to hitting the fastball off of Max Scherzer and doing the little things.
We've seen the little things creep back into this series from both sides. Last night, the base hit the other way by Rendon after an infield hit by Turner and the sacrifice bunt. There, Correa not trying to hit the ball off the train. He just shot it through the wide open right side and hands it to Robinson Chirinos, who shows bunt and bunts it in the air for out number 1. And a big out for the Nationals as Chirinos can't get the ball down.
He'll be disappointed with that because he had an opportunity to put runners in scoring position with second and third with Reddick.
Chirinos with 2 home runs in this World Series, trying to get a bunt down, pops it up. Here's Reddick, 2 for 12, 1 RBI in this series against the Nationals. Has not done much hitting this postseason, just 5 for 34, 147 average.
And this is where you can make that all disappear if you're Josh Reddick. A hit or 2 in the right spot, no one's going to worry about what you weren't able to do. It's what you did in a Game 7 scenario.
That ball stays fair, hit the bag, and the runners advance to second and third, but 2 out.
You can see Zimmerman giving the whoo sign when that ball could have gone in any direction off that bag. But it hit the top of the bag and stayed straight. He got jammed and he hits the ball down the line. Watch it hit the bag right there.
In relief from Zimmerman. And now Springer. Fly to center his first time, 8 for 24 in this World Series. He was the MVP of this round 2 years ago. Down for ball 1. Ball 2. George Springer, the first player in history to have at least 5 extra base hits and 5 walks in multiple World Series. Looking for RBIs here and a base hit. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. Inside with Altuve on deck. It's 3-0.
The Astros had an unbelievable record in the regular season when they scored first, 71 wins, and in the postseason they've had 9-3 when they were able to get on the board. '72-18.
They lead here, looking for more. Springer into left, hit it hard and right at Soto for the out. Couldn't hit it any harder in a sinking line drive. Juan Soto is there to make the catch. Right off the top of the grass. Gurriel led off with a home run to left. Astros have left 3 in the game and lead game 7 by 1. Yuli Gurriel homer to lead off the second. Astros had runners at first and second, nobody out after that, did not score anymore. Good job by Scherzer to limit it to a 1-run inning. And here's Zimmerman taking strike 1 from Zach Greinke.
This game has been tough on starting pitchers. In game 7, none have pitched more than 4 2/3 innings. Of the past 6 guys that have been able to start this game, so we'll see if anyone breaks that mode. And I know for Dave Martinez, he would love to get his horse through 5, and then he's got some weapons to line up, and of course AJ's got a couple of weapons himself.
That's outside, 2-1. The Astros are the first home team to score first in a World Series game 7 since the 2001 Diamondbacks against the Yankees. Wow. And that had a happy ending for the home team that night. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball is hit off the end of the bat. Greinke looks like he's pitching in the middle of May. 1 down. This World Series has shown the postseason is anything but predictable, and this year more than 600,000 fans tried to predict how October would unfold in the MLB postseason bracket challenge presented by MGM Resorts. As we play game 7, less than 400 entries remain intact with $250,000 on the line.
How's that possible? How could 400 still be in play when this has never happened like this? Amazing. Some smart people out there.
I would agree. I mean, as Gomes takes a strike, yeah, we've seen history. It's never happened before. Road team has won each of the first 6 games. And yet there are still perfect brackets out there. With one out, Gomes is in the hole, 0-2. Into center. At Springer, 2 out. And with the bases empty, up comes Victor Robles. Now a quick word from MasterCard.
Breaking the action?
Yep. It's fast when I tap and go with my MasterCard. Priceless. Now back to the game.
Robles 3 for 21 in this World Series, 1 RBI. Last night struck out 3 times, was 0 for 4, hitting in the number 9 spot. Flies one into center for Springer. Back on the move. That ball carried, but Springer was there. And another 8-pitch inning for Greinke, who so far is turning in a gem. Heart of the order coming up for the Astros, up by 1. Help those affected by the wildfires in California. Visit redcross.org/MLB or text CA Wildfires to 90999 to make a donation today. Glad you're with us. Game 7, bottom of the 3rd, and Scherzer hits the inside corner with strike 1 to Jose Altuve. Michael Brantley and Alex Bregman will follow. Zach Greinke surfed right through the first 9 hitters with very little difficulty. Gave up a leadoff hit in the second to Soto. Got a double play ball off the bat of Kendrick. And Greinke's faced the minimum through 3. He's thrown only 28 pitches. Scherzer hits the inside corner again, and the count 1-2.
Yeah, the amount of pitches that Greinke throws is not going to be the gauge for AJ. It's going to be the traffic on the bases, and so he's been pretty stress-free through 3 innings, which is incredible. Scherzer's had to work really hard in his 2 innings of work.
Altuve just spoiled that pitch. .24 hits this postseason for Altuve. We talked about it last night. The all-time record in one postseason for total hits, 26, by Pablo Sandoval in 2014 of the Giants. .6", 168, well off the plate, and he's on to start the inning with hit number 25 this postseason.
This is what I was talking about yesterday. He expands the zone, and you can get some strikeouts against this guy with runners on, but then he'll do stuff like this. Reach a ball that the pitcher goes, there's no way he should be able to reach, but he has the ability to find the baseball and do stuff like that. It's an amazing gift, and there are times he'll have some weak ground outs on first pitches, but he can make so many things happen.
Michael Brantley now. Drew a walk his first time.
Here's the thing we forget. We talk about the journey of the Nationals and how they faced all these elimination games and coming back and everything they did. The Houston Astros have not had an easy route. It looked like that against the Rays, up 2-0. They were pushed to the tilt in Game 5. A great series against the Yankees, pushed to the tilt in Game 6. Extra innings, almost went to Game 7. And now here they are at Game 7 against the Nationals. So as great of a year as they've had and as dominating as a year they've had, they too have had to win some really, really clutch games to get to this point.
Different sort of rally cap look for Josh Reddick. Whatever works in a Game 7. That's into left field. And Soto is there for out number 1. The batter will be Bregman, who posted on his social media that earlier this afternoon he lost his grandfather. His mom's father passed away, and dedicating tonight's game and what he does to his grandpa. One on, one out. Bregman flied to right his first time. What A.J. Hinch wanted to make sure didn't happen after him carrying the bat down to first. The emotion of last night, him being apologetic for that, was that it would carry over into tonight's game. Good stop by Gomes.
Well, what Bregman has been doing is owning the middle third of the plate, so the part closest to him. Any ball that has gotten in that area, for the most part, he has hit hard, whether it be the grand slam or the home run last night. They've been getting him out away, and they've been getting him out in deep counts where he's staying a little patient, looking for his pitch.
Outside.
Just missed outside, 2-0. Maybe you're checking out the World Series for the first time in this Game 7. Bregman, as we've talked about this postseason, was the best hitter in the league from the 1st of August on. Led all of baseball in average on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, extra base hits, RBIs at 52. Count here's 3-0. But he's been critical of his hitting and play in this postseason. 15 of 62. But 4 homers, 12 RBIs in October.
He's been much better here in the World Series.
Springer was swinging on 3-0. He lined out. Here's Bregman. Takes a strike. Altuve with 1 stolen base, 1 caught stealing in this World Series.
Yeah, you mentioned we've seen a little bit of everything. Stolen bases.
A little better move, stronger throw from Scherzer, but Altuve back easily.
Reason he's paying attention, because it's a good running count, not a stolen base count, but a running count, knowing that Bregman will protect the strike zone and not expand it.
Not going. Strike 2 at 96. I mean, Scherzer got that injection on Sunday when he couldn't answer the bell, couldn't get himself dressed before Game 5. Tested his arm here yesterday before the game, and then last night was getting ready to come into the ball game, working hard in the bullpen. Runner goes on ball 4 low. 2 on, 1 out. That'll bring in Gurriel, who has a double and a homer off Scherzer in this World Series. Statcast AI. Powered by AWS.
Yeah, that was just outstanding. Getting down and going to get it. Over 100 miles an hour. You see the distance it traveled. Awfully good left field for a lot of hitters. Right-handed hitters can get in trouble trying to hook the ball because it's shorter distance to left field.
That's the home run ball from the second as he led off inning number 2 with that blast into left. Ball 1. Yuli, the third Cuban-born player with a home run in a World Series Game 7. Tony Perez in 1975 for the Reds. Bert Campaneris in '73 with Oakland. Backing out of play, a ball and a strike.
Well, he has a unique skill set, does Yuri. And the fact that he had about 60 at-bats here at one point in the postseason where he didn't strike out. He's super tough to strike out. He can use every bit of the field. And even though he was having some rough luck hitting the ball hard with not much results, those results have come in the World Series.
Yeah, earlier this postseason, he finished off a stretch of 64 straight postseason at bats without a strikeout. And he's up on the count here, 2-1. Popped up, shallow right. Eaton coming to get it. The runners will hold. 2 down. And now another Cuban-born player in this Astro lineup, the rookie and 22-year-old Yordan Alvarez, who hit 27 home runs during the regular season and will likely be the American League Rookie of the Year.
Game 1 for Max Scherzer, he was all over the place. It was literally a fight to try to keep the game within reach, and he did it somehow. He had traffic on the bases. He was pulling his fastball, spiking his changeup in the ground. He's had much better stuff here. Second time around, still the Astros have made him work really hard. 50 pitches.
Look back at Altuve.
Max is at his best. He can throw that fastball anywhere in the strike zone, have late life, and beat the hitter. And then, of course, spin the ball and change speeds.
Fouled back.
He doesn't have to be location conscious most of the time. That fastball he threw cut. And a lot of hitters will tell you that. They get ready to hit a fastball and it has cutting action. He's not holding back, in other words.
Wow. Came right after Alvarez, and Yordan fouled it straight back, 0-2.
So in the first time of the history of Game 7s, we have 2 Cy Young pitchers going at it. The disparity between the fastballs are quite obvious, but both of them will grunt to get it done.
Greinke winning the Cy Young with Kansas City in '09. Scherzer, a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, twice with Washington. His 0-2. And you said it during our open, and it bears repeating. One of the few guys who seems to have outperformed his huge long-term contract that he signed before the 2015 season.
And I can remember players coming out when he turned down that deal in Detroit going, what is he thinking?
A 1-2. 2-2.
What he was thinking is it worked out. And for a guy that couldn't pitch or finish games and pitch enough innings, when he went to the National League in that 7-year deal, he's won Cy Youngs, he's pitched innings, he's finished games, and he has been the face of the Washington Nationals and really kind of their heartbeat.
High High fly ball to center. Robles is back on the track to end the inning. And we're through 3. Astros have left 5 and lead by 1. Astros lead 1-0 on the Gurriel home run. Our player resume sponsored by Indeed, and you touched on this earlier. As Trey Turner goes, so go the Nationals. In the 11 wins this postseason, he's hit .313, scored 10 runs. In their 5 losses this postseason, hasn't scored a run, and has hit under 100. He lined out to third his first time up, takes a strike.
Well, I wouldn't normally say this in any other game, but this will be the most important inning that Greinke pitches, because chances are he's not going to face Turner again. So he's already gone through the lineup once. He's had 3 clean innings. He gets Turner out. He feels better about what we just talked about.
He's just kept him off balance so far. In game number 3, Greinke had 65 pitches after 3 innings. Tonight, 28. And he's faced the minimum. First starter to face the minimum through 3 innings in a World Series Game 7 since Curt Schilling in 2001 for Arizona against the Yankees. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt.
That last pitch he threw was one of the nastiest changeups he's thrown in a long time, and you just hope, if you're Zach, that feeling and that connectivity comes back. He's such a good athlete. He has that little pause in his delivery, and being able to repeat that over and over again, not a lot of people can do that unless you truly are a pretty good athlete. So what he's learned to do when he's lost his fastball, he has a little cut action to his fastball, every once in a while 2-seamer, and he works both sides of the plate. When he misses in the middle, it's not good for him. Other guys can get away with it. He will not at this point in his career.
Back to Greinke. He's been a vacuum out there. 1 out.
See, you don't have to play a lot of shifts when you've got a guy that can take care of the middle of the field. This one, he could have made the play, but catcher gets it. This is the easy one, but the easy part was fielding it. The hard part was throwing to Altuve to get the double play, and then this one, a nice little make sure you knock it down, throw it out. But watch how this ball and how quickly he's able to get to it, because he finishes in such great position. He really truly is an added infielder after he lets go of the ball.
Breaking ball misses to Eaton. Mentioned it earlier. 5-time Gold Glove Award winner. And a guy who's creative, clearly, on the mound. He's got great touch and feel with his pitches. They usually reserve the word crafty for left-handers. He's turned into a crafty right-hander. Wow. Give him another Gold Glove. Two out.
So if this was a regular season game, somebody in the dugout in Washington would go, hey guys, we need to pick on somebody else. Quit hitting it back to Greinke. But again, good finish, good reaction, no stress. Man, you couldn't ask for a better start for Zach Greinke, A.J. Hinch, and his decision making and the confidence of this crowd.
Misses at 91 to Rendon, who grounded out to third his first time up.
Because he thinks differently, he'll hyper focus on things that go awry or that things he thinks should be different. He does think a lot differently than most people. It makes him truly unique. And we were talking about why that might actually, this game might work in his advantage, because he won't put any extra. Just the way he answers questions in the pre and post, you know, you don't do that in the regular season. They don't interview you before the game. He's not into talking much. And that man right there has done a nice job in this organization.
Yeah, they kind of drag him into those press conferences. That's part of the duty during the postseason. That's low. The count's 3-0 here. And some of his answers to questions give you a little look into what he's all about. I'll give you one after this 3-0 pitch to Rendon. You know what he's thinking. He's thinking about going deep with a count in his favor. The question, any nerves or kind of emotions right now starting a big game tomorrow? Zach Greinke a little excited about it, but we'll see. Wish it was in the National League Park.
Which means, translation, I want to hit.
That's fouled away. And no answers are really any longer than that. You ever fantasize about pitching in a Game 7 World Series? Probably. I can't remember doing that at the moment, but probably. Okay. Three-two pitch. What a start in Game 7 for the 36-year-old Zach Greinke. He's faced the minimum through 4, and he and the Astros lead 1-0.
It's like right now. It's like
Correa has gone deep. And then shut down pitching by Zach Greinke is taking care of Washington so far, but a long way to go tonight. Strike one on Correa, underway in the bottom of the 4th. Bottom 3 in the lineup for Houston against Max Scherzer. And any questions about how the 35-year-old would get along here after the cortisone injection and the muscle spasms in his back, upper back and neck have been answered. Throwing hard, throwing well, better than he did in Game 1. Strike 2. Correa bounced a base hit through the right side his first time up, and a little more conventional defensive alignment on the infield than during that at bat when Alvarez was on at first with nobody out.
Inside.
1-2. One-two pitch. Same spot, 2-2.
Well, Scherzer has the ability for this moment to go as long as he needs to because he trains for this moment. He's one of those guys, the throwback guy that still runs a lot. We talked about his motor and how he generates so much on the mound. A lot of energy. Now there's a major difference between these two besides their stuff. It's how they finish. And Scherzer's going to give you everything he's got, not like Goose Gossage, but he's going to give you legs, arms, and then when he finishes, his head's going to drop straight down and he won't be able to see as quickly as Greinke does. So the ball up the middle will be a little tougher for a guy like Max Scherzer when he fully goes through his delivery.
It was 0-2. Here comes another 2-2 pitch. Correa to the right side again. Cabrera, a nice play to his left. One down. Tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, and a matchup of the 49ers undefeated against the Arizona Cardinals with the #1 overall pick, Kyler Murray, as they just had a 3-game win streak snapped. All starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Wish I knew somebody that was going to that game.
Yeah. Wait, you do? You know Aikman.
Oh, that's right. Troy would be there, right?
He's watching tonight. Troy will be there. Christina Pink, Aaron Andrews, and our whole crew for Thursday Night Football. Should be a good one.
Come on, Troy. Pick up golf again. I know you want to. Come on.
You could text him that. Chirinos tried to bunt his first time, popped it up, and now he's in the hole, 0-2. There's a home run by Gurriel in the second, then hits by Alvarez and Correa. Chirinos came up and tried to move him to second and third. With a bunt, popped it up and caught by Yan Gomes for out number 1, and Scherzer avoided any more scoring. A strikeout and the first of the night for Scherzer. 2 out here in the 4th.
Good sign for Max. You see what he already has done compared to game 1. He had to work so hard. He did have the 7 strikeouts. He gave up those 2 runs in the first inning. For Max Scherzer and most guys, and people will ask, well, why do some of the best pitchers in the game struggle early and then they get locked in later? Well, most of those are going to be hard throwers and guys who are trying to establish their fastball, and they have a lot of energy, and they usually hone in on that energy and that fastball, particularly after the first or second inning. But for Max Scherzer, and the reason why he strikes out so many guys, it's that pitch right there and his slider, and when the two are working together, they have a hard time.
As manager Dave Martinez saying before the game, it's when guys get on base, that's when he really bears down, concentrates, as he did back in the second. He also stranded 2 in the third, and the Astros have left 5 runners on tonight. As the count's 2-0 here on Reddick. Strike 1. Dave Martinez has been under instructions to stay calm in the dugout after he underwent a cardiac catheterization in the middle of September. He was hot last night, got ejected, got checked out after the game as Reddick is on with 2 out. And Scherzer has yet to go through an inning. 1, 2, 3.
And that's big, because the more they can make Max go to the well, dig deep, make pressure pitches, the better chance they're going to have to knock him out of the game earlier. Of course, he's had that extended rest, but for 2 days you couldn't know what he was feeling like because he couldn't feel and move very well.
In steps Springer, 0 for 2. He lined out to left on a 3-0 pitch with runners at second and third to end the second. Springer is one guy who doesn't pay any attention to the data that's provided to these hitters with regard to count and trends, pitches that certain pitchers throw on certain counts. He just wants to see it and hit it. And he sees that one down and in, ball 1.
Yeah, it was unique getting to talk to him, and I just asked him, you know, what percentage of times do you go to the plate looking for a pitch, sitting on a pitch, based on what the pitcher was trying to do to you from one bat to the next? He goes, I really don't do that at all. I can't afford to do that. It's not my style. It doesn't work for me. Played with guys who were real good guess hitters, and then there were certain guys when they were looking for a pitch, no matter where that pitch was, when they saw it, they swung, which is not necessarily a good thing. If you're looking for a slider, you need to look for the slider over the plate, not down and away.
Inside.
3-0. He's already cut it loose once on 3-0 in this game. And he draws a walk here. Third walk issued by Scherzer. He thought he had thrown strike 1. Instead, it was ball 4. 2 on, 2 out, and here comes Jose Altuve.
Pretty good pitch, 3-0, just a little bit low. Springer wanted to make sure.
Astros are 0 for 5 in this game with runners in scoring position. They've got one at second. That's Reddick. A runner at first. That's Springer, and Jose Altuve at the plate.
Again, aggressive on the first pitch. Max knows it. Everyone knows it. Those are the ones, Joe, that he pulls. That's the changeup, and when it starts over the middle of the plate and he doesn't pull it, hitters will come out of their shoes. But when he pulls it, the hitter can recognize that that ball is away. It's not coming back, and it'll end up being a ball.
In at the knees at 96 and a 1-1 count.
Altuve, one of the shorter guys in the league, but one of the best high ball hitters in the league, and that's where you have to keep the ball to him. He's looking middle of the belt and even sometimes higher, the way that he can get on top and just smoke a high fastball.
Another good block by Gomes. Yan Gomes was part of the Cleveland Indians roster when they went to 7 games and came up just short against the Cubs 3 years ago. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Into center. Robles is there. And the Astros now 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, have left 7 through 4 innings in Game 7. Still a 1-0 game, and back after this from your local Fox station. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. It's Game 7 of the World Series. Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To find a youth organization near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Juan Soto at the plate has the only hit tonight for Washington, and he takes a strike from Zach Greinke. Soto, then Kendrick, then Cabrera. Came in at 66 miles per hour, strike 2.
And that's something Soto hasn't seen much of. Now he'll get spread out. He's checking his own computer, trying to figure out what Zach's going to do to him with 2 strikes.
He went out number 1 in the 5th.
Another great changeup. Awfully close.
Rendon struck out to end the top of the 4th. Soto strikes out to start the top of the 5th. Here's Howie Kendrick, the DH. 2-0 the count. Two and one.
Zach doesn't throw many pitches straight, and that's why he can still pitch in this league for a few more years, because he can hit both sides of the plate. He has great variety of speeds between his slowest pitch and his fastest pitch.
Boy, Kendrick totally off balance and not ready for that pitch at 89. 2-2.
And see, to hitters, it seems like 95, because he slows you down with sliders and curveballs and changeups, and then he speeds it up. And it only is 89 miles an hour, but to the hitter, he doesn't know that. He's looking slow, 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 reacting.
Full count. He is signed for another couple of years, which gives the Astros some protection with the expected departure of Garrett Cole, who's about to test the free agent waters at the age of 29 and cash in big. Garrett Cole is available to work tonight on 2 days rest out of the bullpen. 3-2 pitch. A one-out walk, and the first walk handed out tonight by Greinke.
Bottom of the zone where he wanted it, and a good take by Howie Kendrick. I mean, this is just an inch right there. A little bit down.
So 1 on 1 out for Asdrubal Cabrera, who grounded out his first time on a nice play by Gurriel. And we've said that plenty this postseason.
They've been throwing Cabrera a ton of off-speed pitches, a lot of curveballs.
That's outside. Tom, give us more on Greinke and maybe this home plate umpire.
Yeah, that curveball you mentioned. Nobody this year threw more pitches under 70 miles an hour than Zach Greinke. What's interesting is, playing for the Milwaukee Brewers in 2011, he had a running bet with Randy Wolf on who could throw the slowest curveball. Randy Wolf won the bet 59 miles an hour. That's his brother, Jim Wolf, behind the plate tonight. Now, Jim Wolf is there tonight because he graded out #1 this season on balls and strike calls. That includes the job he did in the League Division Series. And tonight, I got to say, he's doing a terrific job, because we haven't talked about the umpire too much in balls and strikes tonight.
Yeah, we had to wait for Game 7. 1-1 pitch is outside. 2-1. It was worth the wait, as this postseason, this entire season, rolls forward to one game to decide who wins it all. The Astros playing in their 180th game, the Nationals playing in their 179th game. 2-1 pitch, a bunt. Greinke hops off the mound, gets the out. 2 down. I mean, he was going after that bunt before Cabrera squared around, it looked like.
I wonder if Chirinos was yelling 2-2-2. He gets to it, and I think he was, but Greinke was just going to make sure he gets the out. He knows what he's got to protect when the shift is on.
Well, now Zimmerman can tie it with a hit. He bounced back to Greinke his first time up. That goes down as a sacrifice, whereas Asdrubal Cabrera.
And if Greinke gets this out, it'll be the first time he completes 5 in a while.
He's made 4 starts this postseason. That's a strike. And in his 4 starts this postseason, Greinke has averaged 4 2/3 innings with an ERA of 5.30. How about that note? 5 assists tonight, most by a pitcher in a World Series since your buddy Greg Maddux in Game 2 of '96.
He's questioning the call because of the way the ball was caught. He just saw the last end of the ball, of the glove, just slide by his back hip.
Strike 2.
Now in Zimmerman's mind, the plate just got 4 feet wide because he saw the glove on the inside part of the plate off, and now he saw one off on the outside part of the plate.
And he's in the hole 0-2. Pitch number 58 for ball 1. The Astros made a deal on the 31st of July, gave 4 players to Arizona, and it took the owner, Jim Crane, saying, we'll make the money work, throw in the 4th player, we need Greinke. And here he is, game 7 for the Astros. Biggest start of his life, and he is through 5. Up by 1. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Downy Wrinkle Guard. Wrinkles send the wrong message. Help prevent them with new Downy Wrinkle Guard. Chilly evening in Houston, Texas. Rainy all day. Supposed to be even worse tomorrow weather-wise. And we welcome you back to the World Series presented by YouTube TV on Fox as Max Scherzer rolls into inning number 5, down by 1 on a Yuli Gurriel home run in the 2nd. Michael Brantley takes a ball outside. Brantley has walked and flied to left. Two and 0.
Really hasn't gotten that changeup going. And you see Cole just getting loose. That one was that was his first throw at about 87.
2-0 the count. Ground ball right side, base hit through the shift. Talking to A.J. Hinch before the game. He kind of sees big picture, and he said the dramatic move is when I send Garrett Cole out to the bullpen. And during that last break, with Max Scherzer warming up, Garrett Cole made that long, slow walk out to the pen, and now he's getting loose. He's never appeared out of the bullpen in the big leagues, in the minors. He did it once at UCLA, and the Astros would like an encore of sorts, what he did with his 7 innings back in game 5 in DC, allowing 1 run on 3 hits in that victory. Here's Bregman, and there's strike 1. Game 1 of this World Series, Garrett Cole suffered the loss. But that win 2 games ago put Houston up 3-2 coming home.
Foul. If you throw it far enough in, that's all he can do for Mr. Bregman, but he sure loves the ball in, and so Max established that pitch in there. We'll see if he goes away.
Oh, 2 pitch. Foul. Talked about having that 3-2 series lead coming home for the Astros. 6 teams in World Series history have won Game 7 after a Game 6 loss at home. Last time it was done by the '97 Marlins over Cleveland at 3-2 11-inning win. Brantley at first, nobody out in the 0-2. Good take by Pregame.
I just think of these two fan bases. Can you imagine Houston leaving here down 0-2 and the fan base going, oh my gosh. And then they go home and the fan base there leaving down 3-2, thinking their chances had just been lost. And here we are, Game 7 in a neutral situation. Somebody is going to be thrilled in about 2 hours.
That's strike 3 as Scherzer blows it by him. And strikeout number 2 for the veteran right-hander here in Game 7.
Well, Max Scherzer, if you're going to try and hit him, here's the angle you're going to see it. The fastball is going to be a lower 3/4. He's going to have his hands on top, fingers on top of the ball with the fastball, slider, and the curveball. And when these 3 pitches come in, you're going to see them all do a little bit different. And the speed variation is going to be what makes him so tough. Fastball 96 miles an hour sometimes and beyond. And then you see the slider at 87 and the curveball at 80.
Outside.
Gurriel takes a ball.
The late life is what makes Max special, and he has been pitching the last month, probably or 2, battling the previous injury he had in that upper back area and just fighting through games. It's not the late life four-seam kind of rising fastball.
One ball, one strike. Ken Rosenthal, I know you talked to Max and people with the Nationals about what he's been through rehab-wise over the last 3 days.
Right, Joe. It wasn't just the cortisone shot that got him back on the mound. Last night, talking to reporters, Scherzer mentioned Keith Pine, who is part of the Nationals medical team. He's a chiropractor, an expert on biomechanics, osteopathic techniques. They basically did 2 treatments a day starting Monday, 45 minutes each. Worked on soft tissue, core stabilization, strengthening the neck, opening joint space, freeing the muscles. And these sessions, which continued today, they helped Scherzer get to this point. It was really a combination of things: the shot, the treatment, and here's Max pitching in the 5th inning of Game 7.
Ken, thanks. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gurriel.
And the reason that's so important to Max, you can see the effort he gives when he throws a baseball and he exerts, and that neck snaps down when he lets go of the ball and actually goes away from home plate. And then, of course, he looks back as fast as he can to see what happens.
Left side, Turner. Good play out over to first, safe. And the inning continues. The only run of the game so far is the home run by the man at first now, Yuli Gurriel. Back in the 2nd, 4D replay sponsored by T-Mobile. And a great moment. The father and son out there and left. Nice catch. And Gurriel just beat that relay to first. And that allows Jordan Alvarez a chance to hit. He homered in support of Garrett Cole in Game 5 at Nationals Park and takes ball 1.
It'll be interesting to see what Mr. Alvarez does with a whole season next year. Of course, getting called up late, dominating. Second half of baseball, has struggled up until the World Series a little bit, especially in the ALCS, but man, has he gotten it going here. Sat out a couple games because of the National League, and then with Garrett Cole on the mound, strikeout pitcher, not much needed from the defense from Alvarez. He was able to break out of it.
Came up in mid-June, hit 27 big league home runs. One in this World Series and takes inside. Count 2-0. With Carlos Correa waiting on deck. I'd say he's swinging on 3-0.
Yes, yes, he should.
And he did not get the fastball. 3-1. That'll put 2 on. With 2 out for Carlos Correa. And now a quick word from Roman Health.
Get started with your free online visit at GetRoman.com/TV. Roman, proud partner of Major League Baseball.
Here's Correa. Scherzer walked 3 in game 1. He's walked 4 tonight. His pitch count at 93. Nationals have Patrick Corbin in their bullpen. They have Anibal Sanchez in their bullpen. And they trust 2 late inning relievers in their pen, Daniel Hudson and Sean Doolittle. 2 on here for the Astros, up by 1. And a strike hits the inside corner.
More than likely, Dave Martinez would love to have Corbin start an inning and not come in the middle of the inning. So it'd be interesting to see how he navigates if he needs to get Max out during the middle of an inning.
And that's what Martinez, the manager, Dave, was talking about with regard to Scherzer. The opponent's 1 for 27 with runners in scoring position. That's when Max really bears down, and he's 0-2 on Carlos Correa.
Seen many of the slower breaking balls out of Max.
Two and 2.
Ideally, you want this to be your decision pitch. You really don't want to go to 3-2, send the runners with 2 outs. So Max is thinking what pitch he can get right here to get action. A swing and a miss, a ground out. And uncharacteristically, the Houston Astros, which have been so good at home, 3 for 27.
With runners in scoring position in this World Series, Correa, it was 0-2, now the 2-2. That is fair. 1 run will score. Over to third is Alvarez, safe. And it's 2-0 Houston.
The best third baseman in the game, one of the best. Made so many great plays. This one just off the end of the glove.
Alvarez went first to third and just got in under the tag. And we're going to get a review.
They want to see if he popped off the base at any point. I just don't think Rendon kept the tag on long enough, but it's worth a challenge anytime in Game 7. You can't go home with him.
This replay review is powered by Mitel. The ball's clearly fair. That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at this part of it.
But she pops up right there, and that might be the difference between the first leg and the second leg. Can't really tell. But see, he pops up. Now that slip, that section of his foot coming up off the bag, the timing of his knee getting back will be the question if they can get something. I'll tell you what, it's awfully close.
Well, you can't see, at least with that replay, where the top of the right foot is, which is under his body. Is it up against the bag by that point?
See, now he's off.
You can, yep, you can piece it together there. And if they want to go that route and say that he came off, it'll be 2-0, but the inning will be over.
Yeah, that is a great look. If they can get that one look, and they get a lot of angles to be able to look at, they'll slow it down.
You know, this is something that's a byproduct of replay.
It's an unintended consequence, right? And now you've had to change the way you view slides, tags, and the ability to play it through and hold the tag. They teach now with the infielders, don't swipe tag, hold it, because TV can see everything.
And they're going to stick with the call, not having enough evidence to rule Alvarez out. But definitely worth a look. And the inning continues for Robinson Chirinos. A 1-minute 52-second delay to look at that. No change in the call. First and third, 2 out. Chirinos takes a ball, and the argument's probably for another time or place, but I still contend they're going to have to do something where they tell the fans that are in attendance at a ball game what they're looking at. Yeah, we've got fans in front of us turning around asking us, what are they reviewing? First and third, 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike as Scherzer now tries to keep it a 2-run game. Big hit by Correa. Does not have many hits this series or this postseason. He's made them count when he is connected. 2 hits tonight in Game 7 and now 9 RBIs this postseason. On deck is the lefty Reddick. Out in the bullpen, the lefty Corbin. Good fastball from Scherzer, strike 2.
It's just amazing in these games when it's tight and then that 1 run gets added. It feels so huge for the team that has the lead. And then at this point in the game, you realize any added runs just seems like an eternity. When in the regular season, both offenses have come back from far greater deficits. And we've already talked about what the Nationals have done in this postseason alone.
Just outside, 2-2.
They could have taken all the seats away in this stadium. I don't think any of the fans would have cared. They've been standing the whole time. I mean, it's impressive.
Here comes a 2-2. A swing and a miss. The strikeout ends the inning. But a big 2-out RBI by Carlos Correa to double the lead in Game 7 after 5. It's 2-0 Astros here in Houston. How about the Budweiser game summary as we move into the 6th inning? Yuli Gurriel with a solo home run in the 2nd. Carlos Correa just doubled the lead with a 2-out RBI single in the 5th. And Zach Greinke's working on a one-hitter. But any sign of real trouble in that bullpen will spring back to life for Houston. They had Garrett Cole getting loose earlier. Astros have stranded 9 runners on. Nationals have left 1. Gomes goes after the first pitch. 1 out in the 6th. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile. Its newest signal is more powerful, more reliable, and goes farther than ever. And it's built 5G ready. And by Geico, happy Geicoing. Halloween is tomorrow. Time for a last-minute costume for number 29 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, John Smoltz.
Yeah.
Here's Robles. Strike 1.
Well, the Nationals may just exactly play to their playbook. They were down late in a lot of these games, so they still got a lot more innings to come back. They have it in them. And the Astros would like to get a little more cushion on these guys.
Check swing didn't go. A ball and a strike. Washington down 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th in the wild card game, facing Josh Hader. And Soto delivered a base hit to right. An error. The base is cleared. They won 4-3. That was to get to the division series against the Dodgers. There's another strike, and they were down 2-1 to LA. Down 3-1 in the top of the 8th inning in Game 5 in Los Angeles, and had back-to-back home runs by Rendon and Soto to tie the game, and won it on the grand slam by Kendrick in the 10th. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Gurriel. Easy play. 2 down. But they weren't facing this version of Zach Greinke any of those games.
No, they weren't. And there's been a lot of soft contact, which tells you his late movement and his pitch selection has been outstanding. You see those slow curveballs, and then you see something that looks straight, but it really isn't. He's had some check swing hits and a lot of ground balls, and really right now he's been in total control of every aspect of this game.
And a strike to Trey Turner.
I cannot remember any fastball so far tonight that has been center cut. It's either been in the right hand corner of the box, the left hand corner of the box. He's done a nice job pitching to that low line.
This is the start of his life.
Yes, it is.
With what's at stake. The start of his life. Second pitcher of the night for the Nationals, the left-hander Patrick Corbin. He got the start in Game 4. Took the loss, went 6, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. Takes over for Scherzer, and Jake Marisnick is off the bench to bat for Josh Reddick.
Yeah, AJ's going to put in his best defensive outfield option and take his chances holding this lead, hoping that they maybe get a few.
this is 2-0. Marisnik is 3 for 9 this postseason, 2 for 6 in this World Series. Corbin has appeared out of the bullpen as a starter, now back out of the bullpen. Strike one.
He signed a nice big deal with the Nationals, and he has been used in a lot of situations in this postseason. Not that easy for a young man. I know he might have done it a couple times early, but he has that electric slider, that disappearing slider. He wants to work on the inside part of the plate to a right-hander. Fastballs, got to throw strikes with him.
I think the lack of length from starters in a Game 7 surprised you, John. This is the first World Series Game 7 in which both starters went at least 5 since that 0-1 World Series. Wow. Roger Clemens and Curt Schilling. That's into left field, and Marisnik starts the 6th with a base hit. Our progressive game flow. Yuli Gurriel with a home run in the 2nd. And the pitching matchup of Scherzer and Greinke. Greinke's allowed 1 hit. He's fielded his position like the 5-time Gold Glove Award winner that he is. And he has been in total charge since the start. 1 on, nobody out for George Springer. Strike 1.
George Springer told us he loves to let it fly. He definitely let it loose right there. He will take some aggressive swings, and the power is through the roof for this young man as he has kind of changed what a leadoff hitter is in our game today.
He's hit 43 home runs, including the postseason 4 in October after 39 out of that leadoff spot.
And with 2 strikes, he would have a hard time against Corbin laying off the slider if his slider's right. And, you know, this is one of the most unhittable sliders in the game. When he's throwing his fastball anywhere close for strikes in that area, and then he throws that down back foot slider to right-handed hitters.
0-2.
Ooh, that's a good take. I don't know if he got a good look at it, but Corbin was probably surprised he didn't swing at this pitch. It was on the plate for a long time.
Fifth time out of the bullpen this postseason for Patrick Corbin. Marisnik is at first with 1 out as Springer strikes out on that pitch in the dirt. Tried to hold up. They didn't even have to appeal. 1 on, 1 out.
And that's what I'm saying with 2 strikes. When you get 2 strikes against Corbin, you're going to have to be awfully good, because he is going to bury that pitch in there, and it is so difficult because he throws so hard as a left-hander. You tell yourself to not miss the fastball, but you end up missing the slider.
Altuve.
Altuve might hit one that bounces.
Back up the middle. A step and a throw. And Marisnik slides into Cabrera. Both are okay, and game number 7 goes into inning number 7 with a heart of the order coming up. Back after this from your local Fox station. Washington, D.C. has 1 World Series title. That was in 1924. Calvin Coolidge was president. Washington Senators won their only championship, a team led by the great Walter Johnson. Same year, First Winter Olympics took place in France. First around-the-world flight took place. A ticket to a World Series game at Griffith Stadium cost $5.50. And each Washington player received a winning share of just under $6,000. This franchise, that's known as the Washington Nationals, started in Montreal as an expansion team in 1969. 51st year of existence. They've been in D.C. since 2005. And they're trailing here to Zach Greinke in the 7th inning of Game 7 by 2. And 2 quick strikes on Adam Eaton. Jake Marisnick takes over in center. That moves Springer to right. There is action for the Astros in their bullpen if Greinke needs help. And it's Will Harris. For you, John, as a longtime teammate of Greg Maddux, it was the ability of Greg Maddux to read hitters that made him so great, and you see some of that same ability with Zach Greinke.
Yeah, absolutely. And when he gets in certain counts, he has the ability to slow the hitter down when the hitter is trying to be anxious to get out in front and get hits.
And 0-2. Outside, ball 1.
And much like Greg Maddux' abilities to throw the ball where he wants to, that's what Zach Greinke's done tonight. He just has been that good. And when he's locked in like this on both sides of the plate, he's tough. And he has been super tough tonight.
Eaton 0 for 2. That's down and away. 2-2. Only 1 hit tonight for the Nationals came by Soto leading off the 2nd. And he was erased in a double play hit into by Kendrick. Grounds to Correa. 1 away. As Zach Greinke now tries to make his way through this Nationals lineup for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, I really thought that the way this game was going to play out, that Zach Greinke would really only need to go through the lineup twice. But you got to give A.J. Hinch so much credit. In his first World Series Game 7, he managed in a way where you have a script and a game plan, but you never know how it's going to play out. And he did things that were unorthodox that won for him. And much like tonight, he's allowing his eyes to see something that's working, and he's sticking with his guy. Just think about what he did in L.A. He used Charlie Morton. He used his starters out of relief. There's a great 7-game series against the Dodgers, and we got another one here.
There's a 1-0. That is a rocket to left, and the lead is cut in half. Rendon makes it 2-1.
There's that man for the Washington Nationals. No heartbeat. Or slow heartbeat. He's got a heartbeat. It's just slow, and nothing's too big for him.
Went to Lamar High School, went to Rice. A free agent to be. He homered last night, and he's got one tonight. And this is a 1-run game in the 7th. And now Soto.
Outside.
Outside, ball 1. For Rendon, his 3rd home run of this postseason, 2nd in as many nights in this World Series. The 1-0 pitch. I think that ability to slow down against Soto is why Greinke's still out there.
Yeah, absolutely. There was the changeup that was center. It was one pitch in the middle of the plate, and it got hit out.
Here's a 1-1 to Soto. Down and away. We saw Garrett Cole getting loose earlier. Now it's Will Harris, who's used to pitching out of the bullpen, getting loose. Cole still in the pen, but jacket on, seated. Two-one pitch. Soto takes ball 3 as Greinke doesn't get the pitch, and it's 3-1.
Wow, that was a strike. Greinke wanted it.
The youngest player in World Series history with 3 or more home runs in a World Series. Soto takes a walk. Second walk, and here comes A.J. Hinch. DH Howie Kendrick coming up. And this place will let Greinke know how much they appreciate what he did here tonight as he exits. Anthony Rendon with 1 out. Sent one into the seats and left to make it a 2-1 ball game. And then a walk to Soto, and now Will Harris deals with Kendrick and fools him. Strike 1. Harris gave up the home run last night that gave a little breathing room for the Nationals. A shot by Rendon after that long delay. Play at first base, the review, all that went into it. And it was the first run scored against Will Harris in the 11 games he's worked this postseason. He struck out 11, walked 1. Opponents hitting 176 against him. That's down the right field line into the corner. This ball is gone for a home run. Nationals on top. Howie Kendrick has made it 3-2 off the pole and right. They just keep coming back. And Kendrick, the MVP of the NLCS after that Game 5 10th inning grand slam. In the division series, then the MVP in the NLCS comes up with just his 6th hit of this World Series, and he hits the foul pole in right.
Unbelievable. We talked about it, and it is amazing to keep seeing this team do it. Of course, Kendrick had that grand slam, was the MVP of the previous series. Wow.
Now Harris gives up another hit. Cabrera is on with only 1 out. Let's go back to the home run.
Fastball that cut down, and he just kind of swings at it. A good swing, but it's late, and it's slicing. Slices right in to that screen.
And Howie Kendrick, the 36-year-old, has just put the Nationals on top. A runner at first, one out. A.J. Hinch is going back to his bullpen. A stunning turn of events here in Houston in the 7th. Will Harris alone on the dugout bench. Last night in Game 6, it was a one-run game. The long delay. Harris got an out, then gave the two-run home run to Rendon. Rendon homers in this inning, which was the beginning of the end for Zach Greinke. And after a walk, Will Harris came in, and Kendrick took him out to right in the reaction at the bullpen in Washington, D.C. as that celebration of the Nationals taking their first lead of Game 7 as Roberto Osuna takes over. Cole was warming earlier. That was in the 6th. Greinke went out for the 7th, got the initial man eaten on a ground ball to short, then the home run by Rendon, the walk. Cole is seated. It's a 3-2 game with the Nationals on top. And you know the question's going to be, why did Garrett Cole sit down, and why wasn't he the first out of the pen instead of Will Harris?
Yeah, you can't get a guy who started his whole career ready for a short stint relief and enter a game without giving him proper notice to start a clean inning. That's what they're hoping they could get Garrett Cole to do. You put a reliever in to get out of the middle of the inning, as in this case, and then Cole would have pitched the 8th. But unfortunately, that script is going to be on hold based on what the Nationals do offensively.
It's been a 3-run 7th. There's a strike, so the closer is into the ball game, Roberto Osuna. And A.J. Hinch told us before the game, if you see Osuna before the 9th inning, that means I'm thinking about Cole to close the game. But now, because this thing turned so fast with the home run by Kendrick, the Astros are behind in the count 3-1. Now a walk to Zimmerman. And that's the 5th straight man to reach against Greinke, Harris, and now Osuna.
Nationals want to keep chaos going. The Astros are finding a way to slow this little momentum train that has turned Washington's way. The crowd feeling it, crowd sensing something that they are hoping they can at least get out of the inning down 1.
2 on, 1 out. Gomes fouls it right side, and it's out of play for strike 1. Howie Kendrick just hit the 4th lead-changing home run to take a team from behind to out in front in a World Series Game 7. Yogi Berra, Hal Smith, Willie Stargell, Howie Kendrick. Gomes with 2 on and only 1 out. Leans back from an Osuna pitch up and in at 97. Ball 1. In the bottom of this 7th, it'll be the heart of the order for the Astros with Brantley, Bregman, and Gurriel. Strike 2.
Well, this could be everything that you could ever want for a Game 7. It's been played crisply. Been some huge moments already. That man right there, and the Nationals sticking to their script.
They fall behind, don't panic, come back. In this case tonight in the 7th. Have a chance for more. Osuna deals. 2-2. Robles on deck. Corbin's in the ball game for the Nationals, and I don't see anybody getting loose for Washington in their pen right now. They have bullpen question marks as well. Here's a 2-2. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. That is on the infield and handled by Altuve. 2 out. And the batter will be Robles. A 1-out home run by Rendon. A walk. Greinke taken out. Will Harris brought in. And Howie Kendrick right down the right field line off the pole to make it 3-2 Washington. Victor Robles 3 for 23 this World Series, 1 RBI. Should end the inning. Springer sends game 7 into the 7th inning stretch. Kendrick, the DH. He's 36. The MVP of the NLCS. A hero in the division series. Maybe a game 7 hero. Nationals on top. Time to stretch in Houston. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. Bottom of the 7th inning of game 7, 3-2 now. Washington on top with a 3-run 7th inning on the strength of 2 home runs. Rendon and Kendrick. Corbin back to work. Brantley first up. Ball 1. Corbin gave up a leadoff hit last inning after Scherzer went 5. Struck out Springer and got a double play ball off the bat of Altuve. Daniel Hudson, the right-hander, gets loose. Good pitch inside corner, 2-1.
Well, Max, once again, he kept them close. Maybe wasn't perfect, but only gave up the 2 runs. And their team responded again.
Three and 1. The Astros with the best home record during the regular season. They won 60 ball games here at home. They clinched the ALCS here at home. They've not been able to win in the World Series at home. That's into left center field, and Robles has it. 1 down to start the 7th. Five and 1 prior to this World Series. Here at home in the postseason. After leading baseball with their 60 home wins. Alex Bregman about to dig in. Good pitch from Corbin, strike one.
Great pitch. Started in the middle of the plate, ended up down off the plate. Bregman looking and hoping that something is in the middle of the plate that he can hit is a mistake off of Corbin.
Strike two. 94 from Corbin. Year one of a 6-year deal with the Nationals. The 30-year-old left-hander. Had the most strikeouts in baseball this year with that slider. 0-2 pitch. Bregman just fouls it away.
That last inning started with just a routine ground ball to short. And then chaos. The Nationals led 3 runs after that.
And it happened in a hurry. 0-2 pitch is just up and away at 96.
See, the next level for Corbin is going to be in his career if he can get to the other side of the plate with his fastball. He's so good inside, which we consider glove side. He's owned that part. If he can get a little better to the other side.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball slowly hit as dribble Cabrera. 2 down. Unmissable Moment is sponsored by YouTube TV. Try it free. Terms apply. The Nationals so far this postseason 9-0 in games started by Scherzer and Strasburg. Constantly moving around is Max Scherzer. As Yuli Gurriel stands in. 2 out, 7th inning, 3-2 Nationals.
Outside.
Ball 1 outside.
We've talked about all kinds of unique things in this series, and I'm just reminded that these two teams share the same spring training complex, which is unique, and they meet in the World Series. One of them is going to have the World Series champions next year at spring training, and the other one is going to have to see it every day.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Gurriel checked his swing, ball 2. Two and 2. Yuli Gurriel hits one into center, might drop, does drop. Tying run is on with 2 down. And the batter that Patrick Corbin was getting loose for in last night's ball game, Yordan Alvarez, will walk to the plate here with a tying run at first, 2 out in the 7th in Game 7.
Yeah, this will be Patrick Corbin's last hitter for the most part.
Paul Menhart on the phone checking with a bullpen. Hudson's been up for a while now.
The challenge for Alvarez is he may not get many fastballs. It's not missing the one he gets and not swinging at the slider that's off the plate. Easier said than done when you're facing a left-hander with the slider that Corbin has.
And there it is, strike 1.
Yeah, and that one wasn't a good sign. The swing at the first one means You're not seeing it out of the hand.
These are two huge innings that Patrick Corbin could turn in here in Game 7 after Scherzer went 5.
Ooh, that was the one. When you see it up, that's the one you got to hit. When you see it down, that's the one you got to let go.
No balls, 2 strikes. Corbin off the mound, grabs it, throws it, got him. Inning is over. Astros have left 10 runners on, trailed by 1 after 7 in Game 7. That's the National Symphony Orchestra at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. French horns playing Baby Shark, the rally song for these Nationals, a team that all season long has been up against it after that 19-31 start, trailing in that wild card game, and they just keep coming back, and they're up by 1, 8th inning, and the count 0-2 on the leadoff man, Trey Turner.
Well, we thought we'd see a lot of these games in this series, and there's been a couple that could have shaped out this way, but then the offenses in particular innings took over and broke games open. But this one has the feel that could be a classic finish, classic story being told of either the Nationals, and I would consider one of the greatest World Series wins ever if they're able to, or Houston finding a way to flex its muscles and win 2 of the last 3. But when you think about what Washington has gone through to get to this point, it's unbelievable.
Here's a 2-2. That's down. Turner 0 for 3 tonight. The big bats are guaranteed more trips to the plate before the end of this one. For the Astros, here's a 3-2. 2 hops to Correa. 1 away. Talked about Josh Hader, Tom Verducci being on the mound for Milwaukee in that wild card game, but it's quite a list of some great pitchers that the Nationals have had to come back against.
Absolutely, Joe. You think about 5 elimination games and trailing in all 5. These are the pitchers when they faced a deficit and facing the end of their season. Josh Hader, you mentioned, National League Relief Pitcher of the Year. Rich Hill, and then Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, and Zach Greinke, 3 Cy Young Award winners.
1 out. Here's Eaton. Strike 1 from Osuna, who took over last inning.
Well, that man right there pitched his heart out and pitched almost a perfect game. 1 out, changeup, the only mistake he made tonight. That's it.
One ball, 1 strike. And the questions, if the Astros don't come back, will be about Garrett Cole. And it's worth going into again. Cole is up again for the Astros. That follow through caught Chirinos. And the count 1-2 on Eaton. Cole, who had not worked out of the bullpen since college at UCLA, didn't do it in the minors, hasn't done it in the majors. was up, but Greinke was rolling, and he ran into trouble in the 7th inning. And A.J. Hinch went to a typical reliever, Will Harris, instead of bringing Garrett Cole in. At that point, he wasn't even throwing. And so Will Harris didn't get it done. He's been so good this postseason for the Astros, a big reason why they're here. But Kendrick got him on the home run down the right field line, and the Nationals have the lead, and they haven't had to deal with Garrett Cole yet, as that pitch is down and in, a full count.
Yeah, he hit a pretty good pitch too. You got to give Kendrick all the props there, because he hit a pitch that was cutting away from him, and he sliced it just inside that pole. The Nationals are proving that age is just a number. The oldest team in baseball.
That's a 1-out walk. Rendon coming up. T-Mobile takes fans further for the future of baseball, and now we'll take a look at the best of the 4D replay, sponsored by T-Mobile. Rendon connected off Greinke last inning, and then after the pitching change, Kendrick connected off Will Harris and hit off the fencing to the left of the right field foul pole for their first lead of the night.
Kendrick can do that because he stays up the middle. He's not trying to pull everything. If you're trying to pull that pitch, there's no way you can hit it down the right field line for a homer.
Rendon is jammed, and he fouls it back. Strike one. Elimination games this postseason. Anthony Rendon in the 7th inning or later. Walk, homer, double, double, homer, double, home run tonight.
Come on. Are we sure about that? That's unreal.
The free agent to be. There goes a runner. Throw down by Chirinos. Too late. And the stolen base by Eaton is his first of the postseason.
Well, he steals this on the pitcher. High leg kick. The reason that's a good stolen base, they're not going to walk Rendon to pitch to Soto, so you get basically 2 cracks at adding on another run or 2.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's upstairs, 2-1. That's a strike, and the count 2-2. Ken Rosenthal, I know you want to weigh in on the pitching move last inning.
Right, Joe. The curious move to me was not putting Osuna in for Kendrick and going with Will Harris. Will Harris, that was his 12th appearance this postseason. He gave up the home run to Rendon last night. On the off day, A.J. Hinch said he deserved a day off more than anyone in America. He is definitely running on fumes, and yet he was the choice and not Osuna in that spot.
Here's a 2-2. High fly ball into left. Brantley to his left. Marisnik to his right. 2 down. And with 2 out, the batter will be Juan Soto. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. And this got the Nationals going with 1 out last inning. Rendon grew up an Astros fan and trying to break Astros fans' hearts here tonight in Game 7 as it left at just under 104 miles per hour and traveled 374 feet. Meeting on the mound with Soto up, first base open. Kendrick right now the hero waiting on deck.
On
Authentic on-field caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Astros and Nationals World Series gear and celebrate with your team at the official source, MLBshop.com. Here's Soto. Check swing on ball one. Soto's walk was the end of the night for Greinke and the start of something big for the Nationals. The pitching change. Will Harris got the call. Howie Kendrick took him out. Base hit into right. Eaton will come around third base and score. Soto delivers again. And it's 4-2 Nationals here in the eighth. That 21-year-old kid has been unbelievable this postseason. And at times, it's like you can't get him out this World Series.
No, trying to go away, and it went in, and a base open with Kendrick on deck. They talked about their game plan, but another two-out run. When the Nationals came rolling into this World Series after the first two games, they had scored a high percentage of runs with two outs. It cooled off at home. Well, it's picked back up. Something about being on the road has loosened up this ball club and gotten their big hits.
Nothing in one. The count, 1 on, 2 out. Soto starts and stops. That ball pops out of the glove of Chirinos. 1 ball, 1 strike. So a walk to Adam Eaton and a 2-out RBI hit to right by Soto. And the lead is now 2. And the tension hasn't been higher in the stands here at Minute Maid Park since the start. The Astros led by 2 after 5. The Nationals went on top last inning, and now they lead by 2. That's foul. Strike 2. Talked about 2 outs and RBIs. 15 of the 28 runs that the Nationals have scored on the road in this World Series have come with 2 out.
Again, it's been amazing. That's how Boston, everything went right for last year for Boston. I think they had about 43% of their runs were scored with 2 outs in the postseason. And you're getting that kind of production with 2 outs. It'll be tough to beat you unless all those runs are when you're way down.
Roberto Osuna brings it. Kendrick fouls it off.
So the interesting decision now that Dave Martinez has. Daniel Hudson's been in the bullpen just kind of hanging out. Corbin ate up a couple innings. A 2-run lead now.
One, 2. That's off the glove of Correa and down the line. Digging for third is Soto. And it's first and third with 2 out and a chance for more here in the 8th. And it's a hit as Kendrick is on base for the 3rd time tonight. And here comes A.J. Hinch. And that's going to be it for Osuna. Osuna got the final 2 outs in the 7th, gets 2 outs in the 8th. Max Scherzer is all smiles in the Nationals dugout. And you know they're smiling back at Nationals Park in D.C. The lead is 2. Pitching change in the top of the 8th in Game 7. With runners at the corners, 2 outs, a run in, and a 2-run lead for Washington. The move is made to the right-hander, Ryan Presley. He's been better his last 2 appearances. Worked a perfect inning here last night. As Drupal Cabrera takes a ball up.
He's got the power curveball and a good fastball as well. And as I mentioned earlier, they've been trying to get Cabrera out with the curveball, and he beat one of those curveballs for a base hit against the shift.
1-0 pitch. That's in the air to left and right at Brantley to end the inning. But the Nationals get a run on 2 hits in the inning. They've left 5. Bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the order coming up. Nationals up 2. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. The city of Houston, Texas, wondering if the Astros can get 2 runs before the Nationals get 6 outs. We start the 8th inning. Correa takes a strike, and Patrick Corbin is back out there. Dave Martinez, Paul Menhart like the way he's throwing, so they stick with him. Correa 2 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the Astros definitely have to get somebody on base. You can't keep going up there, everyone trying to hit a home run. But I can tell you right now, they got to make it as tough as they can on Dave Martinez by creating some traffic on the bases.
They've had traffic. The problem is that traffic has stalled on the bases. 10 left for the Astros here in Game 7. The Nationals have left 5. All Washington scoring in the 7th and 8th. Leading by 2. Here's a 1-2 to Correa.
That's the pitch right there. He just becomes so much tougher when you have to cover both sides of the plate. That fastball away is going to be a huge weapon for him because his slider's so good. If he ever gets that pitch and he continues to throw that slider, there'll be a lot of wins for this guy in the Nationals uniform.
Another 2-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner, 1 away. Second strikeout for Corbin.
And he gets the benefit of a call big time on a fastball inside. And 2 strikes. There's no way he can handle that pitch. Can Correa, and a good opportunity for Corbin to put pressure.
Correa had every reason to quarrel with that call, but he's out to start the bottom of the 8th, and the batter is Chirinos. The Astros are guaranteed to get at least Springer, Altuve, and Brantley to the plate. If anybody should reach between now and then, Bregman as well. Before the end of the night, from the hole with a backhand long throw, Turner. 2 down. Back in the 2nd after a leadoff home run by Gurriel. The Astros got hits from Alvarez, Correa. 2nd and 3rd, 2 out, a 3-0 pitch, and that sinking line drive hit by George Springer was caught by Juan Soto and left before it hit the grass. A big play. Bad break for Springer as he hit it hard. The game stayed 1-0. 2-0 after 5, and it's been the Nationals scoring 4 runs since then. Ball 1 down to Marisnick. 1 for 1. So John with starters out in the bullpen. And a lot of attention to Garrett Cole sitting out there for the Houston Astros. It's Patrick Corbin, a starter during the season. He's been busy out of the pen 5 times this postseason, trying to get 9 outs.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. He's had a couple Rocky outings in the postseason, trying to get used to this kind of dual role. And to get 9 outs in this circumstance in the 7th game of the World Series.
That's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Would be huge.
Two-two pitch, fouled away. Right-hander Joe Smith is getting loose for Houston in their pen. Two-two delivery is down, a full count with Springer, who has 7 World Series home runs under his belt, waiting on deck.
I mean, we're basically on the brink of something the rest of my lifetime I'll never see again. I mean, just never going to see all road teams win ever again. I mean, it doesn't even scratch the surface of trying to figure out how that can happen, but that's what the Nationals are getting ready to do.
This is the 115th World Series. A strikeout ends the inning. And how about Patrick Corbin? 9th inning rolls in. Nationals will bat, leading by 2. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV on Fox. The bullpen in Washington, D.C. celebrating. And the bullpen tonight for the Washington Nationals has featured one guy, Patrick Corbin, as Joe Smith takes over and deals a strike to Ryan Zimmerman. 9th inning underway. 4-2 Nationals here in Game 7.
This series, it might just be series of the unexpected.
That is up the middle for a base hit. And Zimmerman is on to start the 9th. That'll bring in Yan Gomes.
I mean, the Nationals were coming in and facing a ton of horsepower for the Astros. You're talking about Cole, Verlander. Had to face them twice. And to their credit, they held their own. They knocked off the 2 hottest pitchers. Greinke was fantastic, hung in there. Big hit after big hit after big hit. And they are 3 outs away.
If they got the lead and were able to jump on top without having to deal with Garrett Cole here for the 3rd time in the series, coming off that win in Game 5, so they did the damage.
Yeah,
and kept Cole beyond that right field fence.
They did the damage in the smallest window they could do it.
Yep.
Think about it. It is really the only window of opportunity. That's why that home run against Greinke was so big. It wasn't that it cut the deficit by 1. It just made the opportunity for them to score in that inning before they got to Cole, because once Greinke went out there, they weren't bringing Cole in the middle of the inning.
Here's Smith. Throws to second, out, over to first, safe. And let's go through that again. So Greinke is rolling with a 1-hitter and a shutout going into the 7th. Pitching the game of his life. He gets a leadoff man, Adam Eaton, in the 7th inning, then gives up the home run to Rendon, who's just come up big time after time for these Nationals. And then the walk. Cole's not up at that point. He had been up the inning prior. Here's Robles. Strike 1, and like you said, A.J. Hinch, to bring in Garrett Cole, wanted to bring him in to start an inning. In order to do that, in the 7th, he would have had to take out Zach Greinke, who was pitching a 1-hit shutout.
Exactly, and Cole was just kind of getting loose to get his arm ready for when the potential inning would have been coming around.
Robles into shallow center. Marisnik won't get there. Down to second is the runner Gomes. 2 on, 1 out.
And at that point, to what you just said, Greinke was cruising and getting quick outs. It wasn't even like getting in and out of trouble, and so you're buying that inning. And up until the 7th, there was no reason. Ground out to short. He's cruising.
Back to the top of the order here in the 9th inning for Trey Turner. Hitless on the night, 0 for 4, dealing with the right-hander and taking strike 1.
It's simply put the hardest game in the world to manage. There is just no script that you can go by that seems to ever work all the time.
And Will Harris is the guy that A.J. Hinch selected. He told us, yes, he was worn down. He had gotten huge outs all postseason, and he was one of, if not the most valuable guy he had in his bullpen in October. That is foul down the line. Strike 2, and Trey Turner broke his bat. Now Urquidy is getting loose. On the other side, the decision upcoming for Davey Martinez. Corbin has flown through 3 innings. Does he pull him and go to Hudson with the top of the order coming up, or does he leave him in? And they're talking about it right now.
I don't know. Usually when a guy's laughing, that means the stress is off. Right? Or his duties have been relieved. I don't know. It's been a slow heartbeat, literally, for Dave Martinez until yesterday when he was on the field kind of losing his mind. You can understand why. But his team has rallied around him.
Tonight it's just taken 2 pitchers to get through 8. Here's another foul by Turner.
The only thing I will say that becomes a little bit of a disadvantage for Daniel Hudson, he has been in that position for 2.5 innings. And the anxiety grows, and you stand there waiting to take your turn. Not that easy.
Here's another 1-2 to Turner. You have to believe Hudson thought his turn was coming last inning, with 3 right-handed batters coming up in the bottom of the 8th. But the Nationals added to their lead, made it a 2-run game, and so Corbin went back out. Those are the 3 guys coming up in the 9th inning for Houston, the top of the order.
So Hudson more than likely faces the right-handed hitters, and then you got Brantley and you got Doolittle. Or you got Doolittle for Alvarez if it gets that far.
Trey Turner could take a lot of the stress away if he can deliver here with 2 on and 1 out in the 9th. He did not swing, and the bases are loaded on 2 hits and a walk. And here comes A.J. Hinch. And now Joe Smith, who's been so good this postseason, is relieved. And Urquidy is coming in with Adam Eaton coming up. If you haven't had a chance to catch Friday Night SmackDown on Fox yet, now's your chance to see what all the buzz is about. It's the live primetime spectacle that has millions of viewers on their feet every Friday night. The new era of Friday Night SmackDown is only on Fox.
Well, if the Astros are going to have any chance at all, they have to get out of this inning. And what a position to put in this young man who delivered big time in Washington. Bases loaded, 1 out against a stingy hitter. Tough to double up.
Jose Urquidy in that Game 4 start beat Patrick Corbin, went 5, allowed no runs on 2 hits in an 8-1 win. Out of the bullpen, and ball 1 inside as Eaton was more than willing to let that ball hit him.
But it's just like human nature. It's like sitting behind the screen at home plate. You're always going to flinch when it hits the screen, and you're always going to get out of the way and wonder why you didn't just stick a leg out.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Urquidy out of the bullpen. That is up the middle. 1 run scores. That's Gomes. They hold. Robles now send him as Marisnick kicks it in center. 2 more runs and it's 6-2. Nationals up by 4 here in the 9th. Adam Eaton has delivered.
Super tough spot for Urquidy. No room for error. Great contact guy in Eaton, and they can smell it right there.
Adam Eaton has had a huge World Series. Came in with a top average in this Nationals lineup at .333. As Rendon takes a ball up and away, it goes down as a single, 2 RBIs. And an error on Marisnick in center that allowed Turner to get to 3rd. They were holding Robles until Marisnick had trouble with the ball in center and sent him to the plate. Rendon fouls it. A ball and a strike. Six to 2, and a chance for more. Only 1 out, and the Nationals in this series have done big damage from the 7th on.
Lucky we had never seen him, man.
Adam Eaton with a walk, a steal, and a run scored last inning, has 2 RBIs here in the 9th. Ball 2, down and away, 2-1. When the stories are written about this Game 7, if the Astros don't come back, part of the narrative will be a 2-0 lead, Garrett Cole available. The lead evaporated in a blink, and Garrett Cole never got into the ball game. And that means he could very well have thrown his final pitch as a Houston Astro.
Yeah, and unfortunately for A.J. Hinch, guys that were really good out of the pen in these situations weren't. But you're right, that's what will dominate the narrative probably.
It's a 4-run game, runners at the corners, only 1 out, and a 3-1 pitch. Fouled back by Rendon. The Hot Stove League will be cranking soon, and Garrett Cole will be a free agent. Where will he land? Anthony Rendon evidently has that contract that's been offered and rejected. And Steven Strasburg, who could very well be the MVP of this World Series, has 3 days at the end of this series to opt out of the final 4 years and $100 million of his contract. Rendon pops it up on the infield. 2 down. And that'll bring in Soto. When the Senators won it all in 1924, Earl McNeely hit a 12th inning walk-off double in Game 7 to beat the Giants, and Walter Johnson, the big train, pitched 4 scoreless innings in relief. It was his only relief appearance all year after winning 23 games in the regular season. He had started and lost games 1 and 5 in the series, a guy who had 417 wins in his 21-year career with the Senators. And if Corbin goes back out there, it would be a 4-inning effort tonight in Game 7. Not saying he will, who knows, but he has a chance to, certainly, as that misses inside to Soto, ball 1.
And we go back to the way that Rizzo held true to this team. Dave Martinez said, when we get healthy, we're going to be better. They built their team around starting pitching. It's the starting pitching that was able to get them this point. They're the oldest team in baseball. That's saying a lot because there's so much youth in the game.
Soto flies one to center for Marisnick, and the inning is over, but more damage is done. After 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 2 here in the 9th, top of the order, and the last chance for the Astros. Bottom of the 9th inning, Game 7, Nationals leading by 4.
We get it almost every night. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody dancing in the moonlight. Everybody feeling warm and right.
Bottom of the 9th inning of Game 7. And Daniel Hudson takes over. Corbin 3 brilliant innings. No runs, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Springer takes a strike at 96.
What a job.
Corbin in line for the victory. Hudson picked up from Toronto. Washington, his 3rd franchise he's been with this season. And he helps settle down their bullpen. That's a mile high on the infield for Cabrera. 1 out. After the game, we'll have the awarding of the Commissioner's Trophy along with the announcement of the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. If this is not Houston's night, you think about how they started this decade, 2011 through 2013, 324 losses over those 3 years. They've won over 100 games the last 3 years, world champions 2 years ago. They're just the 6th team in Major League Baseball history to win over 103 straight years. But here they are with 2 outs to go, down by 4 in the 9th inning to the Nationals, this resilient team that just refused to quit. A strike makes it 0-2 on Altuve.
You know, there's been bigger underdogs to win the World Series, but I really can't imagine there's been a better journey with where this team was. I'm trying to think of just scenarios in other sports that would, it's like losing or hitting long buzzer beaters.
A strikeout for the second out, and the Nationals are 1 out away.
Because taking into context who they were facing when they scored the runs, it's not that just the teams rally, but it's who they beat. And the very first guy they beat was probably the hardest guy to beat in Hader with the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's been 34,718 days since October 10th, 1924, when the Washington Senators won it all. Here's Michael Brantley. Ball 1 inside. The fans in D.C. are great baseball fans. Not just now, but they have been for a long time, known as a second division team for years. 2 Senators teams left. That's a strike. The city went 33 seasons without baseball. Then the Expos became the Nationals in 2005. They struggled after moving to D.C. And then the first round of the playoff heartbreak over and over again. And here they are with Brantley taking inside for ball 2. Trying to win their 4th road game of this World Series. That one is down the line. In the corner, it is foul. And now the Astros down to their final strike. Franchise that went 50 seasons without a championship, without a World Series. Starting in 1969 in Montreal and trying to wrap up this World Series and win their first championship in franchise history. Inside and a full count. Scherzer, Corbin, Hudson. And now a 3-2 pitch. Out of play. An organization owned by the Lerner family. Mike Rizzo, the general manager. Dave Martinez, the field manager. Here they are, 1 strike away, 1 out away. 3-2. There it is! The Washington Nationals are world champions for the first time in franchise history. 6-2 is the final. Patrick Corbin earned the win, taking over for Max Scherzer. Will Harris suffers the loss. And DC has its second championship. The Nationals have their first.
We want more. We want more. We want
It's amazing in a team where young players grew up and became stars. The veterans kind of kept the ship going.
A great mix of young and old, and the oldest team in baseball is the last one standing as they win in Game 7 here in Houston. And the celebration is on. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks. He just left.
Well, whoever Kenny had just took off. We've got plenty of time to get interviews from down on the field. 5 innings for Scherzer, 3 for Corbin, 1 perfect frame for Daniel Hudson. And just to finish with those fans in DC, the Senators from 61 to 71 finished, as they say, in the second division all 11 seasons. And the phrase was Washington, first in war, first in peace, last in the American League. Baseball came back in 2005, and the celebration is on as a championship is headed back to our nation's capital, secured here in Houston by this never say die Nationals team.
Yeah, it really is. It's hard for me to think of again a team that had to overcome as much as they did. 19-31. Manager goes through some health scares, and a day yesterday where a lot of them were concerned of how fired up he was. You could see him in the dugout as calm and as relieved, and the team, that this truly was a team, has captured that city. And what a moment.
All right, Ken, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. We're here with Max. Max, you're a 3-time Cy Young winner, and now you're a World Series champion. After all you went through physically the last few days, what does this mean to you?
It just means I'm part of the greatest team in 2019. These guys, they battled, it didn't matter. It was stay in the fight, that was our model. It was the next guy up. Everybody gave it their all. Whoever it was always going to produce, and we took it all the way, and we won the whole thing.
You went 5 innings, you had base runners every inning.
Right.
How did you get through it just allowing 2 runs?
Just stay tough. They're a great team, great offense. They were grimy. Just try to make pitches. Stay with Jan. Trust your instincts and just compete. Lay it on line. Just whatever you got to do. Greinke did a heck of a job tonight of working quick. I was just gassed, but hey, you got to give it whatever you got.
How did you feel physically? Was it a risk to pitch?
No, I was physically good. The cortisone shot worked, the chiropractic adjustments worked, so I felt good.
What is it about this team, Max? What makes it so special?
1 through 25, everybody. That's the only way I can describe it. The energy, the camaraderie, the belief in one another, it doesn't matter. Everybody just believes in each other.
Congratulations,
Thank
Max.
you.
Enjoy it. Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks, Kenny. So a guy that couldn't get dressed on Sunday morning, the day of Game 5, gets that cortisone shot, gets ready for Game 7 tonight, and he went 5 strong. From Zimmerman, their first ever draft pick back in 2005, to the young Juan Soto, who came of age in this World Series and went from 20 to 21. A big part of the Nationals win here tonight and in this World Series. The Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award when we come back to Houston. After this, the Nationals are world champions.